All right. Um, Let me see that everything is all good before I. Yeah, it looks like everything is all good. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So, I watched the whole of last video and it was interesting. I did drop some life nuggets there in all of my rambling. So, take from it what you wish. Today, we're just going to be doing back testings, honestly. This is current day. I just added the 200 MA to the chart. I was just looking at what it looks like. It doesn't look too bad. 200 EMA, actually, it's an EMA. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad aligning with my trading style. It's not, I'm not using it. It's okay for just that extra. Like, I'd use it at my convenience kind of thing. Like, I'm not gonna, I want to take a short here, but it's above the 200 MA, so I'm gonna take my short. Like, I'm still gonna trade as I will trade, but like here, the other day, the zone I drew was something like something like this. But given that the 200 EMA is here, and I know that the market likes to wick past what people would consider a stop loss. So with the 200 EMA there, it was actually easy for me to, okay, this is probably where because the base would have been drawn after this. This was before the market opened. This was right after the market opened. This kind of form. So when it came up here and this kind of probably formed, that was when okay. Or even before this kind of form, 'cause I saw this was a base, all around the same area, and it makes sense because the 200 EMA is right there. Well, if the 200 EMA was not there, I would have just said, okay, maybe it's due to this, right? Which is also probably the reason. So there's this 200 EMA confluence, but yeah, with the 200 EMA, I was able to just draw my base right underneath, and it looked good. And I did take this trade, so it's not as though I did take this trade on Thursday last week. All right, let's go to continuation from our back testing on when was it on Friday? I think Friday was or Saturday. Can't remember when we. Yeah, it was Friday because I talked about the day I didn't answer. Yeah, so we did back testing on Friday. Today's Monday, as I said, and we'll be doing more back testing now. So let us get into it. I guess. Let us get into it. All right, so let's go to the next day. So it's 3 a.m. 4:56. Market will be starting in about 30 minutes from here. So which is 7:20, 7:25. The next candle is going to be market start. So let us analyze before the market opens. So all of these zones from prior day useless. Let's add in this indicator. So we have this indicator now. All of these zones are useless. We're gonna trade also our normal trading and also using the indicator, just to see what's popping. All right. So from what we know, as market's about to open, we know there's a nice solid base formed here. So and this went up, came to bounce off that base, and now it's going up. But we also had this rejection here, and the EMA is here. However, I'm not gonna be taking any. I'm not gonna be taking any shorts. I'm not gonna be taking any shorts. I'm just gonna watch as market opens. So that's what happened with the market. Makes sense. That's why I didn't want to take any shots because this just bounced off of here, and even I don't care like this. I don't. The reason why I'm very skeptical about this MA thing is I don't want it to. distort my thought process when I am analyzing my charts as it's going. But I'll see if it's more helpful than harmful, you know. Hopefully it's more helpful. If it's more harmful, we'll know with the because we're recording this, so we'll know and we would cut it before it does any more harm to us. But yeah, so the next candle looks disgusting. Um, this is the red, so that is a very good sign to go short. Actually, this is the red here, but I don't like the shape, the shape of this candle. I don't like price action. I'm just gonna wait. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. It looks like it's bouncing off of all this. Not bad at all. So I want to see how it behaves up here. Not bad. So this was good, eh? So I giving so it broke nicely. Big rejection, but it was far from the red. And it was far from the red, so it wasn't like it crossed the red and rejected the red, or it was very close. No, it was pretty far, but it was a good rejection. It was a good rejection, but with this wick at the bottom, it made the candle. I prefer a rejection something like is there a candle here? Something like this candle right here. You know, like there's barely any bottom wick, and it just goes up and rejects. That's a nice bearish sign for me. If it looks something like this, where there's a lot of bottom wick and then it goes up, even though unless the rejection is like really massive, even then it's still the bottom wick means quite a bit, especially if it's large like this. So that's why I don't like it. So next time, actually, it's not a bad idea to take a trade like this. Probably risk 190, look for three, maybe 400, right? So we would have been getting in here because of that bottom wick and the fact that it's rejecting the 200 now. So we'll just risk all the way down here, right under market open, you know. All right, so nice rejection. Okay, now it's rejecting off the red line, and this candle is good. This candle here is good. So I'm kind of liking this. Kind of want to take this risk in here. 170, looking for 340. Right, that breaks all of this though. But yeah, I think I'll take this. 170, looking for 340. Okay, so from here we're break even because this is nice bullish. It has no reason to come all the way back here anymore. So again, if I was going to take this trade, it would have been right here, right? So I'd have been here looking for 170, risking 190, sorry, looking for 400 basically. So would have been done that trade, and this would have been my second trade within that trade, which you'll be seeing more of. But yeah, we didn't take this trade, but let's just put the arrow here for back testing purposes. Nobody cares. It's not like we're calculating, we're just back testing to see what we should do when the market opens, what it should look like, things like that. We're not, I saw this, I called it out before I continued, right? So, on this I actually took the trade because I am more, this is more based off of the 200 MA and the green line and the fact that it's on top of all this, because this right here is a base here, like right here is a base. So the fact that it's on top of all, and this like is a high, previous high that was broken, came to retest, and I'm risking all the way down here, which is 730, 725, 730 count is right here. So this should have been a good trade per se, especially because of the MA and all the confluences. But yeah, so we've taken this trade. We're looking for three. So we're risking down here 170, looking for 340, which is up here. Probably get this one. So there you go. So that's a good profit on that trade. It did break all of that, and like you can see, such a bullish close. Just all right. It's probably gonna continue a little bit. Gonna continue a little bit. So what we'll be looking for, we're not gonna use this since it's already broken past this. We don't take, if it's broken past the zone, we're not gonna take it as a, like it's useless now basically. So when this happened, this zone became useless. This zone became all of the zone. This zone became useless. Only this one was only this one made sense for a short, but there was no short opportunity. So I'll give for the next trade again. We're only trade to 12:30 every day, so this is 8:30 right now. So we'll be looking for the next trade. Well, what? So right now our only thing is that we're watching. Okay, let's see how it behaves up here. Hopefully we get a short here, or maybe it pulls back down to here, and then we can take a long off of this base that has formed here. Maybe risk down here again, or probably risk below this. Let's see what it does. No rejection. Okay, that's a solid. Ah, that's not solid. That's not solid. Okay. Well, we keep going. It doesn't look like we'll find a trade. There may be whatever it does, it can do, but there's no trade per se. Nice rejection of that line right here. It's calling me, but I refuse to answer. It's a nice rejection up there. It was good momentum downwards, but there's too much rejection in each of the candles that had volume going down. So like this candle was good, not much rejection, but this one had volume going down but big rejection. Volume going down but big. So it's more likely that it's gonna, even though it pulls back here, now we have this base, now we have this low here. But we can use this low and risk down here. So if it pulls back and rejects somewhere around here, so we can call this our this is what we're watching now. If it pulls back and rejects somewhere around here, we will take a trade long, not short, not short up here. That's a tiny rejection. That's a strong bearish move. Okay, so that's a good one right there. So this one, we'll take this trade here and we will risk 120. Is that enough? Is that enough? Is that enough? Is that enough? I mean, it shouldn't be breaking this if it wants to hold this base. So yeah, 120. That's what I was asking if that is enough. But yeah, looks like we lost this trade. So this is our original. So I guess this was not. It had too much rejection. I wouldn't have taken the long. Like I saw it here. Sorry, the short. I saw it here to risk above this 120, 240. I saw it though, but like, okay, well, I'll pay attention to this for sure because I thought, you know, given that there was a lot of rejection going down, going like when it was going down, there's a lot of rejection, so I'm assuming it won't have momentum going down when it. I assumed yes when this kind of happened, it was gonna go down, but I didn't think it would have this much momentum coming down. So what we should have done should have been taking this short up here, and it should have been like this, risking 120, looking for 240. And I did see this candle when it happened, but this candle was pretty okay. All right, so all of that aside, we'll remove this. We don't need this anymore. We did take this trade. We lost this trade. We didn't take this one. So our original thing was here, and that's happened here, and so this one we will take. Because again, this has a lot of bullish momentum. It's just pulling back right now. So 180, looking for 360. So that base that formed there, forming a little bit of rejection, but this kind of going up, baby, going up. All right, so that's a nice rejection. I guess it's because of this candle here. So because this was a lot of bearish momentum, but and oh yeah, so for now we have this rejection up here. So we'll be watching. I think it's fine still. That's a that's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. We'll keep watching. So already at this point, it's already 11:15. We're still in our trade. So yeah, that moment, like I said, there was a lot more momentum going up, a lot more momentum for going up than for going down. But this candle almost turned things around. I should have taken this shot, man. Right? I think because I had a feeling it would come down, so I should have taken the shot. And even if I took the shot, I would probably still go long here again. But maybe the break of this here should have told me not to go long. Maybe I should have watched one more. Actually, normally I do watch one more candle. Normally, I didn't do that here, so yeah. So we'll just normally, regardless, we'll just take. I don't know, man. Should we have taken this trade? I think this was a good trade. This was a good trade. So, but I think we should have taken this trade because we know there was momentum going down, but there's also a lot of rejection bringing it back up. So maybe he wanted to pull back a little bit long, a little bit more. And yeah, normally I wouldn't even care about this base that formed here normally because unless maybe there was a massive base here, like maybe like this to the yesterday's on was it yesterday? So something like this, there was the highs here, and then it went up, but it still came to test, so it was testing the zone itself. So I'm looking for something like maybe this. At what point do was it this one? I have an example of what I'm trying to say here. Can't remember. Oh yeah, I think it was this one. Yeah, yeah, it was this one. So you see, there was a nice. We're just gonna call all the zones, please. We're just gonna call it bases, please. I don't want to keep switching between supply or demand or support or resistance. It's a base for me. So there was a base that formed here. This candle didn't really reach it, but you can see a nice momentum, went straight up, went up here, rejected. So I watched this, and then when it came up again, rejected again. When this happened, it broke the high. Oh yeah, when he broke the high, that was when I was like, okay, this is a base I'm gonna use. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So which means this that went up, this was not a base I should have used. I should have kept on waiting for it to come down here because it didn't break the high, and I should not have taken the short because I didn't know if it was going to break the high, right? The only thing I knew at this point was that there was some momentum going down, but there's also a lot of bullish momentum. And if I was going to take a bullish trade, I'll be taking it from here, right? That's all I knew. So I should not have taken this trade. I should not have taken share regardless of because this didn't make a new high. Yeah, okay, good to know. Even if I took this trade, there's only one thing we knew for sure was there's only one place to risk, and that's all the way down here. So we didn't want to take it here. We wanted it to come down here so we can risk here. Okay, now it makes sense. All right, so we're looking for 360. 360 is just above the current high, and at some point at about around here will be break even. All right, so we're break even now, so we just don't care what happens anymore. So it's because of this momentum. Nah, we have too much bullish momentum not to make it. We won, baby. You gotta read the charts. Read the charts. All right. So our mistake on this day here was the fact that first of all we just put in this EMA. You can see I didn't even care about the EMA for the rest of the day, but with the 200 EMA, we know that if price action is above the 200 EMA, it's more bullish. If price action is below the 200 EMA, it's more bearish. And so that 200 EMA line itself is more like a base. It's a constant moving base basically. So when price goes close to it, if it's above, a lot of the times it will bounce off of it. Um, and so it will also break through it to go below, and when it's below and comes to touch it coming up, it will bounce off of it going back down. So it's like a constant moving base, and so that's why here I should have taken this trade. So we would have had one, two trades, and this happened. We know that up here there was rejection, right? When price was coming here, we were like, okay, let's see how price behaves here. So this candle was okay. It was definitely no rejection bearish, but this candle was actually quite like the rejection when it formed was okay. There's a lot of rejection here, but because of there's a lot of bearish momentum here, but because of the rejection at the bottom of that candle, if it was more solid, more like this, or even like this, then would have been like, okay, maybe we should take a trade and risk above. But it was more there was still some bullish momentum, so we let it go. And the next candle, again, bullish momentum, bullish momentum. So we didn't have a trade here. This was definitely not a trade. We should never have taken this based off of our analysis from the prior. We would only use this base when, a base like this, especially because it's the green candle, so there's not much. It's not like it's the red. With the red, we can use it as it's forming newly. With the green, we want something to be established before we take it, right? So the reason why we could use this green here was because of these highs and whatnot, and the MA was right on top of this. So there's a lot of confluence on the green to use the green. For the red, we don't really need that much confluences. That's why we could take it straight here, because it was the red, big rejection, bullish momentum. We don't really need a lot of confluence on the red. We just take the trade because the red is the half. I say half dollar because I was in the stock market, the penny stock market for a long time, and the penny stock market, is $1, $3, whatever. So $3, 3.50 is half dollar, $1, 1.50 is half dollar. So as I say, half dollar, but it's in an increments of, fifties, right? It's fifties, and then 25s are the quarter increments. So this definitely was not a trade. We shouldn't have taken this trade. Um, this was the trade we're waiting for. We called this trade out before it even came in. So this was more like the base here. This was more like the base right here, right? That was the base that we wanted to trade off of. And so we called it nicely, and it came in, we took the trade, we risked down here, we got our profit. That was it. All right. So, and it's about 12:05 right now. At this point, I probably would not even care to take a trade anymore. No, I probably won't care to take a trade. So it's about 12:30 now, right? 12:40. So we're done with this day. Let's go to the next day. Oof. Nicely done. Nicely done. Oh, we'll check it out. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, let's go see what happened on that day, yeah? So when it came up here, rejected, I saw this momentum, but boom, boom, boom. The trade would have been somewhere right here on this candle right here, because momentum here, that would have been a trade on that candle. So the risk in 140 plus 40 points, or 180, just in case the price side come up again. And then we're looking for 360 if we took this trade. But nah, we don't really care, because that was a risky trade per se, because it broke here. There was not much rejection, and this was a good bullish candle, so it was going to be a risky trade. I have no qualms not taking it. All right, so today is the next day, Thursday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 7:25 here, and let's see. So we know that there's a massive base here. We can reduce the base if we want. We can put it like this. But, we'll just leave it. It's fine. There's a massive base here, and that base has been traded through, so it no longer matters. We don't care about this base anymore. It was been traded through. What we do notice is there's this that formed here. Is nice, and it came, it bounced off. It's in the process of bouncing off that right now. The MA is all the way down here. And yeah, that's about it. Since it's already broken all of its highs, we don't expect it to break through this anymore. If anything, maybe it comes down to the MA a little bit, and then we can risk down here. Otherwise, we're wanting to touch here, or to touch this, or touch this base here, and our risk will be down here, just under this low. All right, let's see what happens. Otherwise, our next, as you can see, there was a rejection here. That's our next target. Go up here so we can see how it behaves and see if we reject. It was not a lot of momentum. I mean, momentum was already here, so it was around here was the momentum. So and around here, but yeah, regardless, this is a high. So let's see how price behaves. Okay, price looks like it's coming to this base first. Nice, so it's in this base now. All right, so I think I'm gonna take this trade. We're gonna take this trade. Let me see. I think I'm gonna take this trade. Let me check the risk. Yeah, doesn't look too bad. 150 points. Yeah, I'm gonna take this trade. Let's see how it behaves. That's not very good. It's not very good, but it's fine. It's fine still. Can't touch the base. Big rejection of the base. Alright, it's really breaking through the base now. Okay. That's still good. Good, good, good. You see, it's points like this where you're like, oh, I should have waited for it to come down in so I can be extremely. I don't really care about stuff. I actually prefer to be in the trade longer. That way, I don't have to take a next trade because if I lose a trade, then I'm looking for the next trade, right? And sometimes in the process of looking for the next trade, if you end up waiting for too long, you may end up making hasty decisions, and so your next trade may not be as clear as it should have been. So we're still in this trade. This was a nice bullish momentum off of this base that formed here. That's why we're risking below. We're risking this low right here. And so why is our base like this? I don't know. I just drew it out of intuition, I guess. That's all it is really. Well, regardless of whether the base was gonna be, because if this was where if this was would have had, yeah, would have had the base like this actually, because this was where you really started falling from. There was so right there, yeah, this is what it should look like. Some people argue that it should look like this, which is fine still. Even though it looks like this, I will still risk below here. That's just me. So anyhow, I'm still in the trade. We're looking for the next. So we're risking 150 points, right? Was our risk? Our risk was 150 points. I was looking for 300 points, right? So just above this high here. So we'll have to watch this and see how price behaves there. So it's broken today's high, 730. It didn't really close above, but enough bullish momentum. And some people take shorts here for sure. Let's see how it goes. That's nice shorts there. I figure some people take shots because it went from this candle all the way here. So some people have a base drawn here for sure. You know, could even be that this was their base, right? And so with this rejection, that was a nice amount of shots. But I'll still watch, just see what happens. So good rejection. That was a very bearish candle, right? But we'll still watch and see what it's gonna do. Well, this is no longer. It's already. This is good momentum bullish, right? But this is heavy, yo. I'm hasty about this one now because this is not. So if people had their base would be something like this, I think their base would be something like this, right? It didn't touch it yet, and they already took this trade, so they're still in the trade. Maybe their risk would probably be around here, right? 80, 80, 80, 80. They're still in the trade, maybe, right? Oh, 80. Oh, they are already out of the trade. So a lot of these guys, day traders, are already out of the trade. But this candle is interesting, that's for sure. Let's see how the next candle goes. It looks good. That doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. I'm still gonna hold. I'm still gonna hold because I think it's more bullish. This candle definitely is more bullish. Even if you are taking this trade, I mean, I guess I should have just taken this trade, risked up there and just because I saw the bearish momentum, especially because of all of this momentum going down, this candle here and this candle here. So if you take and then this kind of form like this, oh, that's disgusting. So if you took this trade, risking 80, would have just gotten our 160 there, and then would have gotten in long again here. But we're just gonna be long and watching. That's another, but we're not afraid here. We're fine because of this candle, right? So now a lot of rejections. So we're still watching though. We're still watching. So now this is definitely a base right here. This is definitely a base right here. Right here, just like this. People would definitely, this is definitely a base for a lot of people. So the question now is this even worth it? This base up here? It did reject off it though. So let's see. See? So this is how it behaved around this base. Nice rejection. I expected I expected it to hold more because it had a lot of rejection going up, and it broke through the rejection. So I actually expect just like yesterday, or just like our last trading day. Um, I expected it to just like this. So it broke, reject, 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 and then it breaks off. But this momentum, this is not good. I'm just gonna put my trade as break even here. It's just gonna be break even. We're still gonna be in the long because overall we still think we're bullish. This is a good rejection, right? If anybody took this trade, it would be something like risking 100, looking for 200, right? Looking for 200 all the way down here. So we're still watching. We're still watching, honestly. We're still break even, right? So over the course of this day, right now we at 9:30. Over the course of this day, there is a couple of things that I think I did wrong per se. But before we go over these trades, we'll let us continue and see if we can find another trade. At this point, after rejecting our initial base, because that's where we're waiting right there, I think we should have taken that trade, honestly. I really think we should have taken that trade. And if we didn't take it there, we should have taken it here, you know. But and well, yeah, let's see. I don't think there'll be a trade anymore. This is too much. Like this candle is nasty. There's only one candle that can, yeah, candle like this, a candle that can go against that. All right, so with this candle here on this zone, let's since the day was still pretty bullish, let's take another trade. Now we're just gonna risk 125. Yeah, that was not a good choice, right? Yeah, figures. Figures. This candle was way too bearish to have taken a trade. Okay, all good next time. All good, all good, all good. So, like I was saying, okay, so it's 10 o'clock. Well, since it's 10 o'clock, we don't really have we don't really know where we're gonna take it. Okay, I guess if we're gonna take a trade, it'll probably be around somewhere here. There's this nice base that formed here, but I don't like taking off of the lower. Like I like, okay, I'll risk off down here. I want to see reject this for sure if I'm gonna take a trade. Otherwise, I don't think there'll be a trade today anymore. Rejecting this base, slowing down as it's approaching the red line. That's good. Okay, so it came out to this base and it's rejecting now. So I guess that would have been, so it broke through the base and then retests, and then we're taking risking up here 80, looking for 160. I don't normally take retests, to be honest. Personally, I don't normally take retests. I mean, I don't normally take retests short, I guess, to an extent. Oh, look at where our MA comes in. Oh, let us analyze this, yo. Look at the MA right there. I didn't even notice it on this kind of, like, again, I don't trade with the MA. I just put it today. So we took our trade here, right? And then we're risking down here. And then this happens with the MA. Yo, maybe we should have taken another trade, right? Taking another trade on this right here with the MA and in the zone, and everything was just nice, taking another trade. Would have taken this right here, just like this. Boom, risking down here. Risking 55. Looking for, and when we get this, yo, holy shit. And so that way we would have probably been able to close the trade and would have been able to take our next trade, which would be up here, right? This trade right here. And this trade would have got in 160, and then we take this trade again off of the base, risking, now would have been risking down here, right? Would have been like this, risking 110, right? And then would have been taking 220, which would have gotten So our trades really should have been like something like this. Let me put the arrows. It have been something like this. We got in here. We get in here because we didn't expect it to come down this much. We expected it to hold this base, which it kind of did. We get in here, we risk all the way down here. We're expecting a nice bullish move, but then it comes and does this, and then we should have added here. Should have added here maybe 10%. We risk 10% of our account on this. Added here, risking 10%. Now we're in the trade, risking a total of 35%. It's not very. That's the thing. I don't like adding into losers. That's the thing. I don't like adding into losers at all. I don't want to risk more than 25% per trade because it's not worth it in the long run for me. Given that I'm going like each trade, I'm only looking for 2 hour one, two. Um, One, I'm only looking for 2 hour. Two, if I if I'm at 400 and receive 25%, that's $100 to make 200. I'd much rather just take that 25% to make 200 than take risking 10% to make 10 hour. You know, I guess that 10% make 10 hours way better. But like the point is, adding to your losers for me is not worth it if you're not break even. Like I'd much rather add into my winners than add into my losers. So I will stand by that mindset and say fuck this trade. The only thing that is good about this trade is if I had not taken, and if I had not taken this trade, I'll probably take this one. Actually, I'll not take this one because it's a little too far, a little too far. So I'd have probably taken, maybe I'd have then taken this one, and this is not because of the MA, right? The MA was actually pretty nice on this. Because if I had lost this and this, I'd have been 35%, bro. 35%. It's not good, right? It's not good. Especially with my with the challenge. I don't want to lose too much. I don't want to lose too much. But yeah, this was actually pretty appetizing. It was tasty. It was calling me, bro. It was a nice one. There was no way not to take straight one. I mean, our base is here, but you can't say that, oh, you want to wait for it to touch the base anymore because it's already done that. So most likely it's only going to come. And this was not just a touch. It was like it's already formed something here low, right? That it shouldn't necessarily break. So it was most likely just going to. So that's why we're risking on this low, which is anyhow. And I, let me. I'm trying to justify taking this trade, and there is no justification. All right, so we're just gonna move on from this trade. So we took this trade because think about it. Yes, the day before, which is this one, we had good trades. We didn't take this one, but we took this, and we shouldn't have taken this based off our strategy. And we took this. That's two good trades, and we only need six to 10x the account. So and this one we would have been in this one through all of this, and then when this happens, you know, and then on this right here, we should have sold here. This is where things get tricky. I should have definitely sold here and taken a short, or I shouldn't have because of this this mindset. But when this happened, I should have sold up here. I should have definitely even sold down here. Honestly, like even sold down here. Trying to risk up here. Or I should have just sold up here because of the reject. This was a fine candle to stay, but I should have sold up here. Sold up here and looking to just reach 100, looking to make 200. Done. Right? This was not too bad of a trade, but it was bad. It was a bad trade. Just because of this candle made it really bad. Made it really, really, really bad. I was in my head, I was picturing something like this. Something like this. These two candles here. But yeah, I shouldn't have taken it with this candle. This candle was disgusting, man. And then when this candle formed, it was like, oh, I was afraid when this candle formed. I knew something was gonna happen. I knew something was gonna happen. It was not gonna be good. But yeah, so definitely what it should have looked like was I got in long here, risk down here. I take a small win here because I was reaching 150. So I get like a 180 win here. And then I retake another trade around on this candle here. And then on this one, I get a nice 200 win. That's a nice one that I want. I shouldn't have taken this trade, so I would still be watching. And then when this retest happened, because of this MA, it broke the MA retest, nice rejection. I didn't. I'm not just gonna take it on the retest because the retest could be this kind, it could be this kind. No, because this candle rejected the MA nicely. I didn't like the shape of this candle, so I'm not gonna take it on that candle. And then I'll take it on this candle, the next one, the doji, and then I'll risk just right here, 80 points, looking for 160. Boom. That should have been one, two good trades, three, four good trades, right? Half a trade there, and we're literally looking for one more trade to 10x our account. That's it, right? Those should have been all my trades right there. Well, the day is not done. It's just 10:45. So it did reject as I wanted on this red line here. If I was going, I don't want to take this. I don't want to take. I see the base. I see the base. I see it. 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 But I don't want to take it. The reason why I don't want to take it is because he already broke. If it was just coming down, yeah, sure, I may take it. But he already broke and he's breaking back down. No, I don't want to take this. I'll much rather just watch. Like if I had taken it, it would have been right there, right, right there. And my risk would have been 150, 200. I'm not taking 200. I'd probably been waited. So base would have been right there, right. I mean, if you want to include that week, but just put it down here, and then now I've taken this here, because this is the base right here. I've taken this here, and then my risk would have been 150. Yeah, there you go. Looking for 300 up there, but I would not take this trade. I don't know. Well, we'll learn as we go. But I don't know if I want to take this. Like this trades breaking back down. Breaking back down is not good, man. Breaking back down is not good. Oh, looks like it's gonna break upwards. That's a good sign when it starts to base around the rejection. That's a good trade right there. So yeah, decided to base around the started to, started to form another zone. You know what? For you guys, if you again, this channel is not for beginners. Please do not come here as somebody who has no idea what technical analysis is. I am talking in lingo that I like and that is just easy for me to talk. It's not as though it's correct, quote and unquote, because there's not necessarily a correct lingo per se. But there is also, there's also widely accepted lingo, and such as supply demand. Technically, this was a supply demand based forming because it's going off, right? So rally base rally, so it was demand based forming. And this my zone as it was approaching the base, as approaching that zone will be a resistance zone or a supply zone. So it's forming a base on a rally right at the resistance zone and on right under the EMA, and then finally broke right on that candle. And that candle was really bullish. I would have that was a nice trade to trade and risk just under the zone 65 or 66, looking for 120s, whatever. At that point, this would have been break. At this point, this would have been break even, because we're looking for 300, right? So 300 was already done here. So if you're taking this trade to add on to this trade, but we are not. Oh, we're still trading on this point. So you're taking this trade to add on to this trade. 70, looking for 140, whatever. And so basically, these are all the trades. This was a bad trade. This was an okay trade. This was a trade I should have taken. So a trade I should have taken. This was a trade I should have taken. So a trade I should have taken. So our good trades would have literally from this day, omitting all the stupid mistakes from this day. If we're just taking one, two, three, right, and then four, five, six, seven, eight trades, we have already 10x the account, and because this trade was not on the like it was not this trade had not completed before we took this trade, so these two trades were just they both completed, but they were both risking the same initial 25%, and then this trade was a new one. So by this trade, one two, I think by this trade would have 10x the account. Our low like definitely way more than 10x, and then yeah. So we're done trading this day. This day was a mess to an extent. As you can see, the like I said, I'll be using the MA when it fits me, you know. So at this point, it did fit, but I can't take an add-on because I'm in a trade already. And yeah, um, this base nobody cares about. I don't care about this base. I mean, the reason why I won't care about this particular base, is because of this one. Otherwise, this is a good base. That's why I won't. That's why I didn't put this trade here, because this is really base we're really caring about, not this one. This one's all I care about. Because this one is just this one was probably just rejecting because of this, right? Right? Should I? I don't know. I don't think I should have taken this trade. But yeah, okay. So next goes to the next thing. So as you can see, oh shit. Let me put this back. As you can see, back testing for me is not to. It is a learning process for me per se. It's practice, right? And when you're practicing in chess, you know, you make a move, you see the reaction from the move, and you said, "Oh, I should have done this. Oh, this was a good move." And then you learn, you put the good moves in on the board, so you see what they look like, you know, and you act as though you took that move, so it's kind of embeds in you. So next time you see what a good move looks like and you take it, right? That's the same thing here for me, you know. You don't know, but that's the same thing here for me. I, s- I know that a lot of times it will bounce off of this. It may not even come back to this zone. So I took this, and now this MA came in. Forget the MA, but yeah, I also know that this is the original zone. It should come up to this zone, not here. This was an okay one. It was a base, nice base. It was an okay one. But we also see that okay, since this is an okay one, and the reason why the reason that the reason this trade is more this trade here becomes a better trade is because of this move down prior to that trade. This move down, that was a nice bearish move on, especially on this candle and this first candle. And so when it came and didn't close, yeah, sure, you could have taken that trade. Otherwise, we'll be waiting for this zone. So we could have taken this trade, this trade right here, just 80, looking for 160, which would have got in. And then when you came back to this zone again, then would have taken this trade again. And then when it went back up, rejection, went up, nice rejection, and then this kind of happens, then we'll take this trade. And I'll take this trade, it comes all the way back here. You could even take any trade even down here. Risking 200, looking for 400, right? Well, yeah, so because I kind of don't like this candle. The only reason why I still say would have taken this candle is because of this bearish candle here, and the bearish candle and this zone and the red line, all of it, you know. And so honestly, if we had taken this one and we were already out, because we would have already been out on this one, we would have just been risking 105 ish. So we're looking for 210, 220s. So we're already out here. When this kind of happens, I don't see any reason why we would not take this trade here. Take this trade here, looking for risking 200, right? Or risking 204, 205, looking for 4 whatever, and then we'll stop out here. We'll get out of the trade here. And then if we are taking this trade, then we would have been able to what's it called? Would have been able to take this one as an add-on. As an add-on. Well yeah, or next time we could also just, instead of taking it at the bottom here, we know that normally this rejection should mean something and should continue and then have that rejection form as a base, but then it broke through immediately with momentum. So we'll just take it on the pullback. So we take, so it's not too much. Maybe we'll take it risking just 150. We'll take it on the next candle close. Or if the next candle close is going all the way down, then we'll wait if he ever comes back up. Otherwise, we'll take a different trade. So next candle close will have been this one, and then we'll take that trade and risk 150, and then we get our 300 down here, right? Yeah, 300 is already broken past. And then we'll take this next again, get another trade, right? All right. So what do we see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're at 725. It's broken through all these zones. The only thing we know is that this zone here is high here. It's forming a nice base here. But we should add this. Okay. So we know this space is nice. So if it comes down here, we know that it will most likely bounce off this red line here. And not only that, we see that it's gone up here nicely, nicely. So it has this high to break. This is such a clean high. This is such a clean high. I'll take this trade off the off market rip. I know you guys. I just remember that we saw the 1 hour. Whatever. This is what I'd have done regardless. It's such a clean high. I'll take this 110. Just risking down below these lows and looking for 220. 110. 220. This will be my last trade, last day. We only saw one hour candle, right? So so we'll leave at 220. Did we get 220? Yeah, we got it on this candle. Nice break over this candle, over this red line. This new high is forming. Obviously, there's this high here. If it ever comes down, this will be the rejection point. But yeah, there's also this base that's formed here. So let's see what it does. The MA is all the way down here. Forget about this for the day. We don't care. Holy shit. Shit. Alright. So that's a nice move. There's a base that formed here. It's not a very solid base, but this is a better base. But because this one has a red line, it's fine. Nice rejection on this candle. Nice rejection on this candle. This is looking short-ish. I don't have my green lines. Green line 3875. Red line 3390. Green line 3925. Alright, so again with the green line we want more confluences. So this is a nice, I see the momentum dying off, but I'm not gonna take it. Oh nice, it's forming a nice base. Well, it's not. The candle didn't break. I like for me to get like that trade we took on this day here, not only was it in the red line and whatnot rejection, but it was also like came and it broke through a 5 minute candle, and then we took the breakout of the prior high. So I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but I understand what I'm saying. So basically on this candle here, like on this candle now, if you had pulled back instead of breaking the prior low and then going back to break the high, if you had pulled back, broke the prior low, rejected a little bit, I would have taken breakout of the high. But on this one here, there's no break of the prior low, so I don't trust it. But it may also work. It still works sometimes, but I prefer the break of the. I prefer it breaks a prior low and then continues. Yeah, you can see momentum kind of dying off. Now it's forming a flag. The flag is actually looking good. So we'll see what it looks like. Okay, now that broke and it's heavy going down. That's a nice rejection there. Okay, so on this now, I think I may take this trade actually. It's a nice bullish move. It's rejecting. Fuck it. I'm not gonna take a trade. I will not take a trade because I'm not gonna. Because if it was a flag, it should be straight. It shouldn't break through the flag, and so that flag is done for me. But then there's also the green. If I'm gonna use the green, I need extra confluences, and there's no other confluence. So I'm just gonna wait for the red, or if it breaks through, hits the red, comes back and retests this base that is formed, then I'll take it. So today we've only had one trade. Did he break the high on this? Almost broke the high actually. I think he almost broke the high. But it's all good, don't stress it. Okay, now it's really forming a flag. Okay, so here, if he breaks, I'll take a trade and I'll risk down here. Okay, now that I'll take the break. Give me this. I'll take the break here. And my risk will be down here on this flag. Because you can see it's really forming 130 to 260, whatever. It's really forming a flag. And you can see it's really forming. The reason why the reason why I say it's forming a flag is because it made it low, went up, almost broke the high, came back, made it low, a higher low, went up, almost broke the high. And it's really, it may come down still, right? It may still come down. We've already taken a trade, but it may still come down. But as long as it doesn't break this low or this low, we're kind of fine. This is why I hesitate when I say it may still come. Like I remember that yes, it does come down. So technically, I should have taken it down here and risk down that risk even better to risk the lower low just in case it wicks this low. I'll be 120 looking for 240, but it's fine. Since I already said I entered this trade, it's all good. I'm just gonna hold this trade because regardless, it should still go up. Worst case scenario is we are what's it called, break even on your trade rather than taking profit. Because obviously, the better your entry, the more likely you take profit. My entry was down here to 120. I'll be looking for 240 up here, right? Versus if and that's what that's at three 3910, right? 3910 is my profit target. Versus if I'm up here, which is where I am now, and I'm risking all the way down here at 130, I'm looking for 260, which is way above 3910, right? 3916. That's the difference. So that's what it looks like with what's it called. So we still ended up taking profit. We got in here, took our profit 260, right? We're risking 130. We got our 260 profit. We got our 260 profit just for people that is. We went all the way up to 278. Please, we got our 260 profit. So there is again, it's the flag that was forming. It was forming down here. We saw the flag, so it was low. It was a low. Made it high. It made it low. Right. At first, it was forming a small flag. A small flag must be straight. It must be straight. It must be straight. It shouldn't break in the flag. And I hope there's an example here. So something like this, right? Something like this is a small flag right here. You see, it shouldn't break this low. Shouldn't break this low. It should just, if it's not gonna do this, then it should do this. And that's a small flag, right? And something like the one I said I was gonna take, this one here, right? Still a small flag. It didn't really break the low, like just a tad bit, just a tad bit. Like wasn't it's not even that noticeable. And then boom, that's a flag, right? So if it's gonna fall, and I like flags with more visible wicks than flags with more visible bodies. Like this one was a flag that was forming, but it had visible bodies, like body, 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 barely much wicks. But if he's gonna still form the flag, that's fine. I may still take the trade. I'll risk him below this candle here, but at least it should not be breaking this low like this much. So this one really broke the low, but again, we could have taken this trade risk. If we are taking this green, we would have been risking all the way down here. But we didn't take this because we need more confluences for the green. So we made the first low, and they already had the high here, and then went up to retest the high. Basically, even broke the high. You can see the high is up here. So on this candle, the high was 3889.7. On this candle, the high was 3890. So 889 versus 3890. This made a new high. Barely noticeable, not really significant, but it was still a new high regardless. And that was this low that made it. And then it came back down, and then retested this low. At this point, I was like, okay, because this low has made a quote unquote new high, it, it's okay, but because of the momentum of the bearish move down, even though it was still a low that you could risk off, I still preferred not to take that low, because not to take this trade, because there was this much momentum, and the high it made was not that much. So I just watched it. So then we watched it, it kept on going. So now it's really forming a flag. So it's like this is the flag that's forming, right? So at this point I'm like, okay, normally it would still come down and make a low, right? But sometimes it will just continue up like this, to be honest. So if I see, whenever I see the flag, I'll take the flag. I'll just take the flag. Ideally, I want something like, ideally I hope I see it around here, around here, then I'll be taking it up here, risking down here. But there's also just taking, like once the flag forms here, you just take it, right? It could this was what a flag. This is what happens when it reaches the end of the flag. If flag forms the flag, and then it gets momentum at the end, boom, it goes up. But this ending here could have happened up here, right? And then if it happened up here, this would have been a base that will pull back to and bounce off again. But yeah, so this was a good trade regardless. It took a long time. We had one trade here, one trade here. Took a long time for the trade to, like, I'm even done trading. It's just letting it play out. The trade was literally done at 5 minutes before market, like right when market closed, basically. But we're still able to, since we're trading in the forex market, we're still able to sell even up to 3 p.m. But yeah, we're still able to buy and sell up to 3 p.m. Sorry, and obviously after hours and pre-market hours, we're able to buy and sell. But yeah, we definitely, I don't know whether we should wait or just taking it. Thinking back to a lot of my back testing, I think I think what's it called? Even though you take it on the break, it still works. So just to be safe, I'll just take it on the break just in case something like this happens, right? So taking on the break, risking down, risking the prior low. But the thing is, taking on the break and risking the prior low is more risky because, well, if you're taking on a pullback, you would have been able to risk the ultimate low, basically, right? Versus risking the prior low. This is when the flag really showed that, okay, it's forming a flag. So yeah, so I'll take it on this for this one. I'll take it on the break and risking a prior low. Sometimes it will do this, and then right here or around here on this black candle, it will come down a little bit more, and it starts going up, right? And then when that low forms, and I take it on the break, then I will risk still the second. I would not risk the most current low. I'll risk this, like the deeper low, because it's just safer, man. So if I risk 160 or 155, 160, I'll need 320, right? And I didn't get 320. 320 is all the way up here. So we need to even after market, it still didn't go up there. But yeah, Honestly, I don't know. It depends. It's the situation, man. Like I said, worst case scenario was not worst case, but we could break even on the trade. Definitely, I said that before we made profit, right? I was thinking like, if it goes up, worst case scenario, we break even, right? It doesn't reach our target. So in this case, would have been trade, and we just close it at some point. Maybe we close it at market close, or we close it at after hours, hoping that it goes up. Or we hold it all through this and see if it goes up to take profit. But in this case, we won. We reached just this low and we made profit. Uh, I'm really wishing I took it here. Honestly, 240 done. Since I'm more comfortable when I recognize a flag, I'll check the low. So as one, two low, I'll be looking for that third small low and then taking that trade. I think I'm more comfortable taking it on the inside of the flag versus on the breakout of the flag. Even though the breakout is confirmation that the flag is gonna work, as you can see, even when it breaks out, you can still pull back, right? So yeah, I think I'll be definitely more comfortable taking it on this low instead of the high. So next time we'll be taking it on the low versus the high on the pullback. We have to be able, if we don't recognize the low, if we don't recognize it, then we'll just have to take it on, like when it low forms, like let's say we see there's the flag here and then it low forms and it's already moving up, then we'll just take it, somewhere here and just risk the previous low, so 125 looking for 250 kind of thing. So would have been in here looking for 250, right? So that's what we're gonna be doing. Yep. So that is the end of the back testing for today. Well, hope you learned something. If you didn't learn something, then well, we'll be trading tomorrow morning, and hope you learn something tomorrow. And we'll keep going, and hope I learn something too. But yeah, the MA definitely is interesting. It's interesting when there's more um consolidation, basically, when there's more up and down movement, and then obviously it's above the MA, it's just trending up, right? I know you guys saw the 1 hour because I let it play and I was waiting for. So I know you guys saw the 1 hour on this trade and it was up. So you think I took the trade? Nah, it was a clear trade. It was a flat top, right? A flat top here, clean flat top. It was such a small distance between these lows and the high there. So it's easy, man. It's easy, an easy trade. It's breaking out. You just take it and risk the low. You could even risk all the way down here if you wanted 180, looking for 360, right? You still get a 360 because the idea is it's unlikely for it to come down, and it's even though it comes down, it's unlikely for it to break these lows, this low here, because I don't know. That's just the way. It's just unlikely for it to break the lows, and even if it broke those lows, it's very unlikely for it to break these lows. So if even if you break these lows, you probably just wick it, right? So if anything, we would have probably just taken this trade and we just risk just down there 175 looking for 350, right? And that'll be our trade. That's it. But regardless, we're gonna take this flat top break because there's no other high. So it's the new high that wants to form where we want it to have a lot of momentum. And as you can see, it's not as though I don't like any. We still took another trade that we didn't know what was gonna be the outcome, and we won. So it's not. I don't know. Um, well, tomorrow is going to be the first day of our challenge. 400 to 1 mil. This will be our account. Oh no, not that account. A different account. We'll be using a different account. The account with $400 in it. But yeah, that will be it for today, basically. And thank you for watching. Till tomorrow, we'll be waking up at 7 something. I'll be doing our analysis right around 7:25. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, adios.